watch some of Brad Garlinghouse's most upbeat videos and conversations. I'll talk about some places I believe are important. This post will have a lot of information that you may already know if you follow Brad Garlinghouse and XRP. However, I still think that many people are sleeping on XRP. After watching this whole movie, I think you'll understand why I'm so optimistic. XRP is like Bitcoin. It's a digital currency that is now the third most expensive digital currency. When two banks do business with each other, we handle the deal between them. Instead of having one bank open an account at the other bank, this is how correspondent banking works. Brad's bank would now open an account at Julia's bank in dollars, or if the exchange rate between XRP and the British pound is very low, I would take that money out and put it back in. This means you have to trust that other bank and leave money there for it to grow. We let banks and payment companies use the liquidity of XRP today. A lot of money moves between XRP and the US dollar. We could use this to move money around in real time, in seconds. It's even faster than Bitcoin, where a transaction can take up to 12 minutes. Each exchange with XRP takes only 3 seconds, which is very fast. This has made XRP very scalable, which is different from how Bitcoin works. The customer doesn't know that the money's going through XRP to fix the problem for them. It just means a better offering at a better price, which is why there's more interest. XRP is being used to send money around the world more than ever, so we couldn't really be, a lot of people still believe false things about what's going on in crypto, but I'm happy with how that turned out. This is a real use case where a real customer's problem was solved. Remember that the amount of money locked up in the pre-funding account has ranged from $5,010, 0 cents T, to $270, 0 cents T around the world. And this would be much more valuable if banks could get back all the money they had borrowed and use it to lend to customers, help small towns grow, and start new businesses for people. This is what would really make the US and other countries' GDP grow. Okay, this is a problem with pre-funding all over the world. Also, the picture of Trump, Garlinghouse, and Althred is great. They've all met and talked in person, and I think Trump is positive about XRP as long as no one tells him that Ripple has been working on digital money that banks will issue. I just think that more needs to be learned about CBDCs, and I think that both sides will push for some kind of digital cash issued by the central bank at some point. I think I could be wrong, but I don't think the US, which has the biggest financial market in the world, will not have the same systems as the European or Asian countries have, when about 90% of the world is moving forward with technology. I'm going to play one last round. John Edwards is free now. This was at an event in Las Vegas and was in a few of my videos. If you just watch this, you need to hear this, because Brad Garlinghouse is saying that they are rebuilding the banking system from the ground up. But skip ahead a minute and 13. That's what Ripple's goals and answers have been for the last 10 to 12 years. There is no winner in this game. There's one thing I learned in my 24 years in Silicon Valley, is that tech isn't a free-for-all. David Schwartz spoke about rebuilding the whole financial system. We don't know what this will look like in 10 or 20 years, and David Schwartz said it was a big deal. Working together, not against each other, is the only way to get there. I'm sorry, I'm going to be quiet, but they are working to rewrite 50 years of slow technology. I think Swift and some of these other big banks know that things are going to change and that they can't avoid it. They need to accept it and lean into it. And since that's what Ripple does, it makes the most sense for Swift to work with them to make cross. About 90% of the foreign exchange market is covered by Ripple. About $7 trillion, 0 cents, $500 billion, 0 cents changes hands every day on the foreign exchange market. This amount is going up over time. In 10, what'll it be in years? 1 day's worth of $10, 0 cents could be used as a bridge between these different currencies. All of them can be helped by real XRP dollars. This answers a trillion, multi-trillion, or quadrillion dollar problem. If you can figure out a quadrillion dollar puzzle, you can make a living. Let's play. This is Brad Garlinghouse talking to the co-founder of Hedera. I'll play you this good clip, but I don't know who this man is. We can now get in touch with the Hedera group and work together. I don't think we've agreed on that yet, but I think there is a chance that we can. That's really cool. This is good for both your communities and the crypto. I think Lehman's whole business, we needed to get the blockchains to work together for this kind of thing. That way, when we find scams, we can tell each other and let companies know. We should also work together as an industry to teach people and come up with new ways to deal with these problems because they affect everyone. I love that. We've also been working together on autonomous recovery, which is another thing. I think that as a field, we have a lot of things in common that can help us make it help other people. All we have to do is tribes' effects on our business have been on the rise or decline over time. I don't know which one it is going to be because I think it's going away. Yes, it looks great, but I think the faster we can do that, the more likely it is that we'll agree. I think that the experience we had at the SEC in the case was part of the fight for Ripple. The whole business world was in that fight, and I think it shows that thinking about the bigger picture can be very good for everyone. I have a question for you. Where would we be in the crypto market now if Ripple hadn't fought for us over the last 4 years? Where would we be if they hadn't said enough is enough for the crypto market? Okay, you got away with it. We're done with it. I don't think we would have gotten this far with regulation and acceptance without all the mistakes the old SEC made. Those were very public, and people in Congress and the Senate must have looked at them and thought, what the hell are we doing? Okay, this video is from a long time ago. Brad Garlinghouse has a lot of colored hair, which makes it clear that it was a long time ago, and his hair has turned a little gray with age. It must be hard for you to deal with all the stress that comes with court work. I don't know what you or I would do if we were stressed out by a court case for 4 years. Let's play this now is the time. IMF and Brian Garlinghouse are sat next to each other. I think you get paid once a month in Singapore and every 2 weeks in the US. Have you ever thought about why you only get paid once a month or every 2 weeks? It's because it's hard to make payments. Also, why can't you get paid every day? If we can make payments easier, why don't you get paid every hour or every second? That would be even stranger. You could have a steady flow of value going into your store of value. Now, not sure why you need to be paid all the time, but I think that getting paid every